Headspaces, what's up? Another one live and direct. VJ, the brother from the ancient mother, I ask now all the time, every time.
Ta-Kaizer.
Hands will introduce.
I
know, it's hard times.
Hard times.
Hard times,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
we do it for the love, and we're here for you to give you these essay hip-hop narratives. Now, we did a part 1 of this exciting segment a while back, and I guess it's taken us too long.
Yeah, too long.
This has been a long time coming. Rappers, you should know. You want to say anything about that?
Yeah, man, rappers you should know. So it's part 2.
Sequel.
Sequel. So we give you 5 rappers that we feel are doing the most, but are not recognized nationally at the moment. But these are the rappers that we feel Jonga. Check them out. Yeah.
And obviously this is really one of those segments where it's our own personal grasp of what's coming into contact with our ears and our eyes, and how we see the game developing from different ends of the spectrum. Which is why if you have any rappers that you think are coming up in ways that are notable, because the thing is, rappers you should know is not rappers that you like. It's people who are doing the work in ways that have noticeably increased their repertoire and their reputation and their just overall consistent musical catalog. And also, according to the metrics we use today to determine an artist that really is about the hustle, I think fundamentally, if you have 1 or 2 visuals out, and a visual doesn't have to necessarily be a formal music video, it can be anything that kind of depicts who you are and transplants us into your world and what you do and what's interesting about you.
And the quality of your work, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, because I think a large part of the dialogue today that we have with artists is finding out a little bit more about who they are and their world. It's an exciting thing that goes along with the music. So I would say the visual is an important part of it. Obviously the catalog, quality music, mixed, mastered well, and done in a way that speaks to who you are, that understands the niche or the space or the context or the dynamics that you're working with in your art. And I mean, last but not least, originality.
Originality. You know what we're pushing here, authenticity to the core.
You know,
it's non-negotiable for us.
I think that's the fundamental thing we can say about every rapper that we will be reviewing on Rappers You Should Know, is that you should know them because they're adding something exciting to the game. A lot of people are rapping, a lot of people are coming into the game, and a lot of those people make themselves felt in ways that garner features from known artists. But not a lot of these people make themselves felt in ways that add something new to the game. So a rapper that I think anybody deserves to know is somebody who is infusing a new configuration into the DNA of South African hip-hop. So yeah, let's go into it.
Number 1, rapper ukala.
Cape Town, Kaapstad. You know, I mean,
it goes back to that.
Cape Town is becoming one of my favorite spaces when it comes to South African hip-hop. We're talking about a rapper called Mvula Drae. Interesting fellow. Kind of hippie, bohemian aesthetic, dreadlocked, light-skinned brother who's a true purist when it comes to the lyricism. Matter of fact, his first project to kind of really garner attention was Listen to the Lyrics.
Back in 2015.
2015, he's been at it for a minute. And when it really kind of started to punch into the online world and garner attention, when first I heard of him was Volume 2 of Listen to the Lyrics, which came through in 2019. Volume 2 kind of had this distilled lyricism which was interpreting the boom bap aesthetic of rap in the context of the trap voice. Mvula is clearly a student of lyricism. He is a child of carefree mentality. He comes from a perspective that is not typical, because you know, a lot of artists that shine their light in hip hop tend to come from that grimy space. He's really about emphasizing not only life's extremities, but he's got a very optimistic tone about his music. He's hopeful, he's inspirational, he's good to listen to. He's got this, you know, how do I describe his vocal tone? Imagine a kind of Kendrick-esque squeakiness that delivers itself with a rapid delivery which makes itself felt in its charisma. Shout out to Mvula Drae. He's doing a lot of interesting things, including a new single called Rain Man. Y'all should really check that out. The boy is dripping and oozing with skill.
What I wanted to mention, that I like the fact that he's affiliated with legends when it comes to beat makers. Arsenic. Ooh, Arsenic. I know Arsenic back in the Hype magazine days.
Word?
Yeah. He used to work with Abo Confab, and yeah. So when I saw that affiliation, I was like, okay, this one is worth the.
I mean, he's doing things. The dude has made himself felt in many a stage in the Cape Town rap movement, and I think virtually most of Cape Town knows who he is. He's done a lot for himself, and that's why we think he's a rapper you should know.
I don't want it if it don't roll low. Seaside gripping grain, ride solo. Plenty miles in the tank, I'm not going home. Can't stop, now they filling up my colo. Tell them I don't want it if it don't roll low. Seaside gripping grain, ride solo. Plenty miles in the tank, I'm not going home. Can't stop, now they filling up my colo. Tell them I don't want it if it don't roll low. Roll low. Roll low.
Who's our next one?
The next one, okay. Vereniging. Yo,
Gauteng stand up.
Gauteng stand up, yeah.
This is your boy. You know, you put me on to him, and I must say I was thoroughly satisfied. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, the first time I heard him, actually I heard him, I think was it last year or early this year, on that Dirty. On Crow's music video.
Right.
He dropped a music video. The name of the track is Dirty, and I heard him there. I'm like, yo,
edgy.
Like, I've never seen someone who rap like that. And then I went back to check if he's got some music out, only to find out, oh man, he's been edited. Dropped his first full length album, which is what Tale of Tales.
Tale of Tales
in 2020.
Yeah.
And from then on, and he's part of a tapestry.
The interesting tapestry.
Yeah.
Can we call it a collective?
Yeah, collective. Because Zibo, Hisham, our own.
Shout out to Zibo.
Is part of that that collective.
And we got Crow the Gnostic as well.
Crow the Gnostic is there.
So really,
it's lyricism.
It's sophisticated lyricism with a tinge of modern swag and a great detail to aesthetic, because the one thing that I've seen all these three artists do consistently is they understand how to depict themselves not only lyrically but visually. A lot of what they do is exciting to look at, be it the artwork, the videos, the short little EPKs that they do. This is a collective of artists. I mean, Dras Doobi himself in particular, an artist who's really trying to get the audience into the soul of what he does, why he does it, what he's passionate about, what he's not passionate about. So virtually, when you go into Dras and just Google him, you'll find the narrative put itself together in a way that is really cohesive and solid. And notable to mention is the fact that the consistency is something that has not only been moving, but it's been developing. I mean, from Holy Steez, from now that we have the Culprit's Dose.
Yeah, the Culprit's Dose on this year. This year it was a 3-track EP. Yeah.
Right. So here's an artist who, from what I've really been tapping into, is not only kind of doing what he knows he can do best, but growing in it. Yeah. And for those who want to want me to box him stylistically, also it's that a lot of artists are trying to interpret hip-hop lyricism in new ways. We've had the burst of the golden era in the 90s. We had the emergence of gangster rap doing its thing. We had southern hip-hop give its own flavor and funk. to rap. We've had the Midwest do its own thing with this kind of warm, street-based, orientated lyricism. So I think the evolution of how to rap is coming now into a place where a lot of lyricists are trying to configure how to work around these 808s and these trap beats. So definitely Dras Doobi being one of these artists where we've heard what the Kendricks and the Coles and the Drakes can do, and now a new generation of artists is beginning to interpret new flows that are coming into the presence of what lyricism can be in the future moving forward. So when you listen to Dras Doobi, definitely a fresh perspective on how to rap between, around and within trap, and find a way to make trap feel not only present and current but nostalgic to where hip-hop has been, because there's definite over and undertones of that golden era sound, but it's interpreted in a way that says, I'm from South Africa, and as much as I'm a fundamental hip-hop head, I understand the importance of tapping into people whose hearts might be funneled into and channeled into what's current and what's popular. So there's definitely a flavor to Dras's thing that is got so much pop appeal. He's definitely a rapper you should know, but he's definitely a rapper who has the potential to be somebody everybody knows. So shout out to Dras Doobi doing major things. Gauteng is heavily inundated and congested, so whenever MCs come through there, it takes a lot of effort just to get to the level that
stick out.
To stick out. So shout out for that.
Racing to the damn loot, Masondela Suksus, Kalu Kuf Kuf, Mike Tyson with the right hook. Good fellas better shoot the fucker in the damn boot. Shidum Simba with the body pack dudes. For Renugu, horror movie with the true. Birds chirping how I'm fly, see a dragon in the sky. In my dungeon they all die. Kazolanga my para, what this rap shit gets that prick, my bumpy night shift. Want the whole wallet, keep the damn tip. Hear the trickle, let the blood drip before the flight trip. Sean Peace Pyrex said young niggas feeling like pirates. For this cash we taking all titles, even the tyrants. Eternal flames won't get extinguished by fire hydrants. It draws see you clashing with titans, all the gods did. Oh my God,
number 3.
Number 3 was number 3.
See Jeffrey's Bay, ne?
It's pretty close to home.
Close to home.
Right.
The Twaalf or the 12.
Right.
You need to ask him about 12 at 10. It doesn't it?
It's a cool name though, and I think from a small little town that's known for surfing and easygoing, it's really cool to see an MC who's number one reinventing the paradigm of what Afrikaans rap can be, and coming from an unconventional place, because we know that you know, the Afrikaans rap base has fundamentally been cultivated in Cape Town for obvious historical reasons. So it's very always encouraging and inspiring to see Afrikaans rap coming from different corners. And I think cats like Twaalf are part of a lineage of MCs like your
Cream or
you know,
Ulanduga, our own, we love him so much, Jets Finger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And come on, his name is slipping out of my tongue. From PE.
Oh, from PE. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know you talk. Early B.
Yeah, this is what I wanted. Yes.
Yeah, Early B.
Twaalf reminds me a lot of Early B because his music is so fun to listen to.
Yeah.
But it's got this bouncy, crunk infused flavor where he's playing around with so many different sounds, and you know, we're used to Afrikaans rap either being in this really grimy place or being in this pop culture space, and I feel like Twaalf has got his lanky hands and legs on both of those ends and is interpreting a new flavor into just rap, but generally rap in Afrikaans. His cadences are exciting, they're minimalistic, humorous, he's funny. You don't get a lot of funny MCs, and the funny MCs stick out because, I mean, we all love to alleviate the strain, which is kind of a light-hearted approach to life. And as light-hearted as he can be, he's definitely got joints in his catalog that address life, that address what the come up, what the evolution of just being a person is like. So he's an interesting cat to me. He looks interesting, tall, colorful, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
he's and it doesn't come across in a way that's gimmicky. You really feel that this is who this guy is. He's He's somebody who lives with his heart on his sleeve. He's humorous. He's not afraid to laugh at everything, including himself. And he's bringing us into this journey of who he is. And
have you ever did you ever have an Afrikaans MC who's actually funny before? Can you think of one?
I don't know, my...
Oh.
That's I have to think about that. Maybe that's a whole episode.
Oh, or is it only that guy with the, you know, with the cap?
We're not gonna mention him by name.
Okay, cool. Okay. And currently, the Twaalf is on a school tour. Yeah, he's going on a school tour. I think around Jeffreys Bay and Humansdorp. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, we live in times where a lot of rappers think big, which is really cool to kind of market yourself in ways where you're aiming for traveling across South Africa. But I think we tend to underestimate the value of reaching out to your community. So the fact that this cat is doing a school tour, it really shows me that there's a strong business savvy behind him. I mean, in all these MCs that we were doing, he's really somebody whose online presence is so consistent and cohesive. Him and his team, whoever they are really doing the most when it comes to, again, putting together the narrative. It's so important that when you do art today, including rap, when people Google you, to get a sense of who you are and why you do what you do, really does a lot to let your audience know if they want to let themselves go into this door. Because the thing is, you don't grow by trying to appeal to everybody. You grow by understanding yourself, and by virtue of understanding yourself, you bring out your story, and people who can relate to that will gravitate to it. So an understanding of one's own story is really something I see from like Twaalf. We've seen it through the videos that have come out, the songs that have come out, Windgat, which really trended a lot. You know, a beautiful music video. Again, it gives you a sense of the artist's world. And of course, Eshe, which is really an interesting take on a lot of the culture happening today. And it's an MC saying, yo, I'm the shit, I'm coming out, I'm doing my thing. And this is a rapper you should know because, number one, we really need positivity in a time that's becoming increasingly grim. And number two, he's fresh with it, and like we said, he's original. Shout out to Twaalf.
Shout out to Twaalf. We're waiting for that album.
Waiting for it.
Oh, neem nie intrap. Oh, dan waar ik dak af, die bias van die baai. En ik kom van die plaas af, lyk het of ek wil inpas. Ek hou me net so Windgat, kyk die sak. Oh, ek drink waar my sak pas. Oh, oubie of 'n papsak, nou ek net saluut vir die wat saam my vat. Jy gaan nie kom oefen, 12 daai is stoepa, kyk die sak. Oh, neem nie intrap. Oh, dan waar ik dak af, dokters van die baai. En ek kom van die plaas af, lyk het of ek wil inpas. Ek hou me net so Windgat, kyk die sak. Oh, ek drink waar my sak pas. Oh, oubie of 'n papsak, nou ek net saluut vir die wat saam my vat. Jy gaan nie kom oefen, 12 daai is stoepa. Hey, kami sa ze weet wie maak op in 'n lam. Oh, maak op big to ek weet elke number wat ek maak lau kaka. As diamond met die middel. Oh, dama maak 'n lekker man, maar moet nie raas.
Next up on the list,
Sepai. Homeboy. Actually, he stays in my hood, man.
Right? He's right around the corner. He might be behind this camera. I'm kidding. None other than Gaffi with 2 eyes. And Gaffi made himself felt, what was it, last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
He leaked. For those who know what that is, that's a big deal. Literally coming into manhood on a cultural level, but also on like an artistic level. This is a young rapper who's come to his own and is evolving as an artist in ways that are just so interesting and eccentric and exciting to see and listen to. Like I said, he leaked out a snippet of his single Islat, which drove the internet crazy. Because his interpretation of Xhosa rap is one that is filled with so much finesse. It just oozes charisma. This is a fat kid.
With more
more confidence than most of the conventionally attractive MCs put together. That's what I love about it. I'm not going to be on some body positivity tip, but the honest truth is that we live in a world that kind of narrows down people to an aesthetic that's not realistic to everyday life. Most of the people we see on TV are chosen because
they look a certain way.
They're attractive in ways that don't offend, you know, brands and marketing. So it's so refreshing to see an artist who's oiled up in his fat body and embracing himself in his music video, Eshe, and doing it with so much finesse. He even ignored a whole lot of those Twitter disses where people were like, did you pour a whole bottle of cooking oil in times where we need that shit?
Trended,
truth about Gaffi is that, again, an artist who's not afraid to just not take themselves seriously. And I think that's the secret to great art, just not life. You know, like not only life, but just great art as well. The fact that to be able to look at yourself and say, I am what I am, regardless of what people think are flaws, and I work at myself in ways that empower myself. Gaffi is definitely a fresh young artist who's even garnered attention from rappers like
Younger Chief.
Exactly, which shows you that right in his inception, no album, no mixtape, just a whole bunch of loose singles scattered across the internet, particularly on his SoundCloud, which has now reached somewhat of like 19,000 listens. And garnering himself in a space where these snippets that he keeps releasing, whether it be TikTok videos, whether it be doing Instagram live videos, Gaffi is an artist who understands the power of the internet. He understands how, with very little music, you could make your presence felt by bringing the audience closer to who you are as a personality. So I'm very excited to see how he moves with that. A definite mainstay contender in this developing Xhosa trap wave. Matter of fact, his recent visit to Cape Town unfolded before our eyes, where he was seeing him work with artists like Bravo. He's done and already put in work with some of the mentionable rappers like Put Legend. He's had features around artists' albums, and he's really one of the I think he's Xhosa trap's best kept secret, and we just leaked it to you, and it's run about time where the world gets to see this young talent. I, just like many of his fans, am really looking forward to seeing him drop a project, an EP, anything, because what we see so far is just so tantalizing.
And I feel like it's probably gonna be the next big artist to come out of Ikabeka.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
I mean, we've got a rich legacy, and I think the thing about Kabeka rappers is the highest that we've reached is an Ifani, and maybe we can mention My Man as well. And one thing those two rappers had in common is that they were affiliated with some of the biggest names and did their thing in the scene, but didn't quite know how to translate that in coming back home. So I think it also brings the conversation of, do artists have to migrate to Joburg or any other big capital city to make their presence felt? Hopefully an artist like Gaffi is showing us that there's a new recipe on the horizon.
Because he's bubbling under while he's lapping.
While he's right here, at home. You know? So, definite lesson to new artists coming up. He's an expression of the generation that we're in, and an expression of things to come. Shout out Gaffi.
One of the things that I wanted to mention when you were talking about the fact that he doesn't take
himself seriously.
He once said, just know, if I don't take out my T-shirt and and perform bare chest on the stage, just know bahang the chekwenye. And I'm like, okay, a little bit.
That's yet to be done. Yeah, next week.
Okay, balel, yeah, chin big yeet, kawenz. Cause I can specially bell, yeah. Taking us to the Ushland. Utanda ban Ushland. Abashe by, okay, yo, ballet, nya uzomben. Exi I call a love bitch. Evan I'm stepping on them. And she clips the Angelo Pell. She hates can fuck, I'm like. Utagal tan kabalam. Hey, but I'm stepping on them. Every goal I jump in program. Jungy poach or mega tattoo. Dim clean. Catch me off now, be feet.
Last but not least, a fresh young talent, not even from South Africa.
Yeah.
We international.
We're international with this one. Yeah. From Lesotho.
Maseru, ne?
Maseru, yeah.
Very fresh young talent.
Fresh.
Another young guy. Ntatao. I love that name.
Yeah.
It's so. I am fathering this shit, you know.
Yeah.
And he definitely is.
Yeah, she was asking about Ntatao. We found it.
We found it. First, I want to talk about this young man's attention to detail, the way that he curates his art, from his visuals to his very low profile, cryptic yet very impactful visual sense of understanding himself. He's been rapping not for too long as we know it, because I think Bodega Baby, which dropped last year, was really when he started to surface and give the world, and particularly this country, a little bit about who he is. And man, a lyricist, a funky, dynamic, trend-setting young trapster with the heart of a boom bap artist, somebody who is rapping corners and adjacent triangles and circles and just doing it in ways that are so fresh to listen to. Man,
breath of fresh
lyrical air. So exciting. His current project, which is Fighting Futility, addresses so many issues. Definitely gonna review it soon, but in case you didn't know, this is a kid you should really put your ears close to, because if you love something that has attention to lyrical detail, that has an appeal to pop culture, that has a fresh sense of songwriting, that is punchy and exciting to listen to, that has emotional depth, this artist is dripping with all of the above. Definitely somebody who you need to know, because I mean everything he's doing with so much extreme excellence at this level. I think a lot of what he's producing single wise could easily compete with the biggest rappers at the moment.
The producers he works with.
The production.
The production.
The production.
And I was asking him and he's like, nah, it's my friends. Like, I'm like, yeah, damn.
Insanely diverse, insanely original, insanely just refreshing. So I think just checking out his visuals, checking out what he's doing so far, definitely gives you a sense that he's aiming for the big time. And considering his age, considering the kind of sound he's doing, considering the fact that he's also somebody who does art outside of rapping.
Yeah,
he's
acting, he's a comedian also.
So this tells you that this young man is really gunning for the industry.
Yes.
He wants to be a factor in South Africa, in Africa, and potentially the world's sense of pop culture. And I think he's really a strong contender, because his sense of awareness and understanding about his own story, again, is so inspiring, especially for somebody of his age, so mature. And I think if you're already thinking in the ways that he's beginning to think into, which kind of navigate around identity, sense of self, and just challenging and addressing the concept of value and self-worth in today's times, then you're an artist who's going to mature and bloom in very interesting ways. And Ntatao is definitely a rapper you should know. How are you going to seal it off, the case?
Seal it off? Yo man, shout out to the 5 rappers. Ntatao, Gaffi,
right?
Mvula Drae, Twaalf, Dras Doobi.
Yes sir. Yeah, that's it. That's
it. Yo, it felt like I only.
That's about it.
Yeah.
We only have room for 5, because you know, top 5 dead or alive. And I think it's in this segment. It's one of those segments where we really rely on the subscribers as well. Tell us who you've been checking out, because like I said, these are the people who have come into contact with our immediate field of investigation into what's popping right now. So maybe there's an artist who in your corner is doing phenomenal things that are really garnering the kind of attention that make you feel like this is somebody
Someone
who
we should
know, who the rest of the country should know. So holler at us on the comment section. There'll be links to each and every one of these artists' projects, websites, videos in the description. We're plugging them because I mean this is the culture, and pop culture is not addressing hip hop. It only addresses rappers who are relevant in the context of their branding. So what the Headspace is about is shining a light on every hip hop practitioner doing great work that is developing the culture in this country forward. So every time we come with 5 names here, it isn't because we like them. It's because we really feel like, as far as the history of South African hip hop is concerned, these are artists who are stretching it and developing in ways that make it exciting to be a hip hop head in this country. So thank you to each and every one of you who constantly put the work in saying you want the whole world to understand your story, whether you DJ, whether you're a graph writer, whether you're an MC, whether you're all of the above, whether you break. This is all hip hop, and we're constantly figuring out what it could be in a country like South Africa with everything that's going on, the trials and the triumph. So it's inspiring to be able to do a segment like this. I'm VJ, the brother from the Angel Mother.
And I like the fact that cats, as much as Bandine Kakeninzi, are getting on my inboxes, now with DMs, telling me about who I should check it to. And I check them out, that whether I don't go back and say, I know, I did check who and out, but we do check them out.
We do check them out.
Like thank you very much from our subscribers for that.
Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, guys. Put us on.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Please do.
Yes. Peace.